In this video, we will talk about Zomedica, trading under the symbol ZOM. Please watch it until the end because I will share with you my opinions about the company and if you should buy the stock. But the most important aspect I would like to touch base on is how much the price has risen and for what reason. So first thing first, let's talk about the current stock price action. Currently, the company is sitting around $2.25, not that far away from the peak of $2.66. The major news recently is that they managed to sell their platform called Trueforma, and a lot of people were hyped up by it. However, as we can see in the recent market performance, the stock did not jump off from this news. And this is probably because at that point the market already priced in this potential development. Just briefly, what is Zomedica? Zomedica is a medical startup specialized in animal care. It manufactures small-sized machines, allowing vet clinics to test the animal and to provide a diagnostic on-site, reducing the delay to get the result. In other words, although the comparison may be a little bit iffy for the bulls of the stock, it is essentially what Theranos tried to do with their blood testing machines. Keep that in mind because I think that this example is actually more relevant than we think in terms of how we should structure the trade. In the press release, the buyer of that machine is a major vet clinic chain with tens of thousands of square foot clinic space. I believe that this is mostly a good news because it gives legitimacy to the product that this company is developing. With that being said, I would argue that the most important aspects that should influence your trading approach is not the current and latest news, but what happened in the past and what is likely to happen in future. When we look back to the stock chart, the stock of Zomedica increased for more than 30 times in a matter of months. 30 times. Let that sink in for a second, because this kind of increase should both impress and scare us. It is a testament of how far things can go up, but also a reminder of how much space there is to fall if many investors decide to take the profit. Keep in mind that not that long ago, Zomedica used to be a penny stock, that if things kept being the way they were, the company was probably going to be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange. Then the pandemic hit. This was an Armageddon for a lot of business, like hundreds and thousands of them around the world, but it was also beneficial for some. Zomedica seems to be one of those lucky few, because so many people were locked in their own homes, unable to take long walks, travel, go to restaurants. They decided to buy themselves a pet. And obviously, this increased the frequencies of pets going to the vet clinics, which propped up the expectation of the market towards companies such as Zomedica. Now, for every company, we should weigh in the risks and opportunities. The upsides are quicker responding time, lower reliability of the vet clinics towards the labs in order to get their testing done. The downside can be resumed in two words: reliability and real demand. Remember when we mentioned Theranos a bit earlier? They were also selling blood testing machines, and at one point they were present in hundreds or thousands of drugstores across the nation. By the way, let's forget for a moment that Theranos was a fraud. Like, even if Zomedica were an honest company, it doesn't stop the fact that those machines are essentially compressed labs and coming from a startup that the message boards and forums have pushed up to the sky with the hype build-up. Now, let's talk about my recommendation on how you should approach the stock. I believe that fundamentally, Zomedica may have more room to push higher if it is confirmed in the upcoming month that their platform is not only useful, but is demanded in large quantities. This should be confirmed by the company's quarterly financial reports later this year. I would say probably in Q3 and Q4 of 2021. If that were the case, then the stock will simply take off to a much higher extent than where it is now. This means that the true catalysts are still ahead of us, and that we must anticipate and prepare for it now in order to benefit from them in the future. I think that the upcoming weeks and months are going to be rather calm for the company, unless of course there are new sales announcements, which will obviously fuel the growth even more. But now would be a good time to watch over the stock price movement and spot if there are dips that will allow you to enter the stock at a low cost. In other words, the potential growth will happen in the month to come if the first sale proved to be the first of many, and we can confirm it in a few months. Now remember, the stock is currently riding at a 30x bullish trend. Simply normal profit taking can send its price downhill. This may be a good opportunity to buy if you don't have an existing position in it. As far as the maximum exposure is concerned, I would recommend an allocation of around 1 to 2% of your portfolio, and do not buy your maximum allocation in one go. I would say split it in at least 5 different batches. The company is still in its early stages, and it is important not to go all in when the price is at an all-time high, after skyrocketing up for 3000%. Thank you for watching. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, please check out my page for more stock analysis videos.